Good afternoon. So, this session is for the difference. We are going to learn the importance of gross motor skills and also the fine motor skills. First, we can see what is the exercise of practical life. So as in Montessori, as I already told you, what are the activities we are doing it regularly, it comes under Montessori, right? So the exercise of practical life or really those in which the simple daily activities what we are doing, that is what an adult is performing in his own environment. So in order to keep our environment and also to preserve it, so children can see them, so they are familiar to the child. So the children like to do these activities in which the child shows great interest in performing all those activities. So the child does these activities because they are constructed for him, and also the child constructs himself by carrying out all these activities. So these daily exercises becomes the means in which it develops the child. Then the children choose some of the particular activities because they are very needful for them, they're purposeful, so they can easily understood and also become familiar to it. So they also give directions for his moments. The direct aim of the exercise of practical life is to acquire independence, to help the child to be independent in performing. So these and all comes under certain groups, in which first one it takes as an elementary moments. So second one is that looking after the moment, looking after oneself, and also the social relationship. So the main social relationship is that the child has to acquire what is there to gain from others and what is there to learn something new. So the direct aim is to help the child coordinate his movements, in which it means that of the intelligence, will, and also the movement working in harmony and acquire consolidation. So there are some of the positive consequences of the exercises of practical life. So they follow together with the direct and indirect aims. First, we'll go with the child gains an emotional enrichment as a result of these exercises. So when doing of these exercises, the child comes to love and value these activities even as a form of relaxation. Then the second one is that regarding the places these activities hold in the child's life, that the child who does these activities does them naturally, accepts them, and does not look on this type of activities. So the child develops a habit of taking care of things around him. So he is be well mannered and also well equipped to take care of the things which are around them. So it helps physical development. The muscles get a chance of exercising, so the child can develop an intelligent contact with this environment as a result of this. So the child also forms a habit or a taste for conscious constructive activity. So the willpower is developed by those activities. So these are the one in which it enhances the characteristics of a child, in which these exercises helps in their practical life. And also there are some certain characteristics in the material used in which the kids come to learn, that is the material should be physically proportional to the child. Then the next one is that the purpose of the material should be clear and not complicated but plain. So it should be easily understandable to the kid. So all the materials must be kept clean and also complete. So it brings attractiveness to the kid. So it makes them to learn something new in an attractive manner, and also it is adapted to local conditions. So it is perfectly made in which it sets them well. Then the next one is it is a distinguished mark. So complete independent set of materials in which they can take the material, they can do whatever the things they know to do with that. Then there are many sets of material displayed attractively. So these are all comes in which the contact between the child and the material. So the under main important characteristics of a presentation of exercise in practical is this analysis of movement. So we have to analyze what the child gives movement. Okay, so every single movement must be shown to the child, in which he follows what we have done and he is the replica of the of others work. So he have a keen watch of others what they are doing. So when we are teaching, we'll be giving you a perfect and also a perfectly made condition of working with these, in which it forms a replica of the action. So every little movement have been shown to the children so they can see it distinctly. So the child is helped to realize that each activity consists of a series of independent actions. So one, he or she has to make his own independent action. So the child can also understand some of the complicated movements because of this analysis of movement. So analysis of movements which is performed by the adults, they give a presentation that shows the activity in which how he can do, and also to arrive at doing the activity himself fairly well to begin with. So the child should be free to choose any activity. So the main motto of Montessori is nothing but he or she is not pressurized to do certain things only in that session. So he or she is very free to choose any of the activities he can decide, and he can do some of his particular activity. So the child is also free to repeat any activity, so and to ask for the presentation at any time. So he is very well and free to use any activity. So the adult chief duty is to show the activity. So we have to show the activity and they have to replicate what we are doing in a procedured way. So apart from that, there is an inner participation in the work of the children also. So the adult plays a hidden role with regard to the child. So the adult follows the child in his work. So we have to make a note why the child prefers one activity to another. So we have to know the interest of the kid. We have to mind read the kid first. So the adult should also be able to find out whether the child is urged from within or in it, because the child wants to imitate someone. So children are the very good imitators. So we should avoid as much as possible interfering with the child. So we have to allow them to do it independently. Next is we must, as much possible, let the child work at his own development. So by means of repetition, he will be able to overcome imperfection. So if they make mistakes, they will be correcting by themselves. So these repetition will also make them to overcome imperfection also. So there is one occasion when the adult can interfere. So this is if the child misuses the material, lacks in respect to other members in the group. So the summing of all this shows that exercise of practical life is a means for all round human development. So the exercise of practical lives are nothing but the exercises which we are doing in our daily life. So they are partly divided into four parts. That is, these are the main things in which they are divided into four groups. We can see to it. The first one, it goes with a care of a person. So the first one, it goes with the care of a person. The second one, care of the environment, the control of movement, and also the social behavior. So these are the four main groups in which we have to know in the exercises of practical life, in which this or enable the children to acquire independence. Okay, so first one is that the care of a person, the care of the environment, the control of movement, and the social behavior. So the purpose of these exercises, so the purpose of these exercises of practical life is to enable the children to acquire certain independence, gain control of their movements, to understand the functioning of the immediate environment, also to be sociable. So it is necessary to have one set of these materials in the classroom. They must be attractive to materials, as they can look dirty with constant use. So children are shown how to perform each exercise slowly and carefully, so they can easily grasp what we are teaching. So these materials are with the reach of the children. So there are endless opportunities for such exercises. So they are very useful and can be given when the child enters the Montessori environment. So when comparing it with the day-to-day life, exercise is very important in our practical life. So in Montessori practical life activities, we are seeing with the age difference of 1 to 5 years. So 1 to 5 years, what are the skills mainly we have to enhance is nothing but the major two motor skills, that is your fine motor skills and gross motor skills. Basically, there are two motor skills in which we have to use it regularly in our day-to-day life. That is nothing but the gross motor skills and the fine motor skills. So gross motor skills is nothing but you have to give the full movement of your body to do an action, that is in case of walking, crawling, running, these comes under gross motor skills. So in case of fine motor skills, you are going to use a small number of muscles in which you are going to see an eye and hand coordination. So your fingers, your toes, so your palm, so these are all comes under fine motor skills. First we'll go with gross motor skills. So what are the activities you can do to enhance your kids gross motor skills? So there are several activities in which in every day what we are doing, we can make our kids to train up to enhance their gross motor skills. So gross motor and the fine motor are the most important skills in which a kid has to learn in our day-to-day life. So there no need to take a new book or no need to see anything. Whatever the work we are doing in our home, what are the simple things we can make our kids, all these comes under gross motor skills. So first we can go with gross motor skills. First is that gross motor skills. So gross motor skills, if we take normally, if we are sleeping, we can make the kid to roll the bed sheet, roll a mat or put it away. Then we can make them to walk around the mat. So coming to school, if we are learning it in a school, will be learning it in a procedure way of walking around the mat, the way to roll a mat. So in case of learning in home, you can make the kid, you can give them the bed sheet to roll it them, you can give a handkerchief to fold it. So all everything. So roll a mat and put it away. Walk around the mat. So carry a chair. You can make a kit to carry the chair and place it in the underpace. So carry objects on a tray. You can keep some of the paper cups. So these are all the daily activities in which it comes under Montessori. They will be also learning under Montessori practical life activities. Okay, so carrying liquids on a tray, walking on a line, you can draw a line or you can make a line with a sellotape, make the kid to walk on the line. You can give separate patterns on the line in which they can think and walk to which pattern we have to go. Then sit on a line, you can make a circle or you can make a square in which these enhance their gross motor skills. So sit or walk to the next line. You can also stack a tower with blocks or nesting boxes. You can clap hands to music. So with the number of times you can clap in which regarding the music that is played. Then also tap sticks on music. So dance without falling. Outdoor play, that is the climbing up on the normal sticks. Then is your enjoy daily walk. So these are some of the gross motor skills. There are many gross motor, so these are the some of the gross motor skills. Then again, if we come for care for self, so if a kid learns something, he has also to be learn to be independent by himself, in which he has to make his or her own activities by himself. So feed self with a fork, spoon or cup. So if it is a habit of eating by them, so they should be known to know how to use the fork, the spoon, how to carry the cup and drink, how to sip it, how to suck it, so everything. So using of dressing frames in the sense of buttoning, all those zipping, everything. Then the dress self is nothing but he or she has to know about the zipping activity, the shoelacing, so the velcro, shirts, pants, all their underwear, jacket, everything comes under that dressing self. So it also makes them to feel independent if they are learning all these regular practical activities. So using of toilet, wiping and also flushing, so wash hands, face and body, brush teeth, clean and clip nails. So these comes under the care for self. So when coming to life skills, there are certain activities in which the insert battery into a flashlight, match locks and keys. So it also comes under your thinking skills also. So threading and unthreading the nuts and bolts, in which we can give a colored nut and bolt in which they can match it with their respective colors. And also the wooden hammer and pegs, it also a hand coordination game. So a dialing of number in which they can learn their home address and also the phone number. At the age of 3 we can make the kid to practice these skills. So recycle, take out the trash, hammer nails, pack an overnight bag. So these you can give above the age of 3.5. You can make them to collect the things and the dresses what they have to pack for an overnight, or what the things you have to pack everything in a separate bag in which we are going out. Okay, so wrapping a present, so these activity you can give to the age above of 5 years. That is wrapping a present, presenting his own gift to his friend. So these are some of the life skill activities. Next, when coming to kitchen life skills and food preparation, there are a lot of activities are there, very very simple activities in which it enhances their practical activity. That is, first one is sort cutlery, open and close. Let's see, opening a bottle and closing a bottle in a proper way is also a Montessori activity. Just taking a water bottle, keeping it in a proper position, opening it, the direction of open is different and direction of close is different. So all these will be learning even in a single opening of a bottle activity. That is open and close lids. So different lids have different opening. Some of them have press opening, some will have close. You have to press it for close and you have to press it for open. So you have different, even a single activity you can take it into a different manner. Next is screw and unscrew lids, sort beans. So different color beans you can sort it. Next, pour water into a funnel. Pouring with mug, pouring with cup. Other than that, pouring with funnel is also an kitchen life skill. Then is a sponge transfer. You have to dip it in a water. You have to transfer it to the next one. This is your sponge transfer. Wash vegetables and food. These are the main things in which a kid has to learn, in which he eats by his own, right? So before eating, what he has to do is he has to wash the food or vegetable what he is eating. If he is eating a carrot, he has to wash. So he has to learn how to wash, opening the tap, washing the carrot, and then you have to eat. So all these comes under kitchen lifestyles. Next is wash dishes, washing their own cups, washing their own plates, or good habits what they'll be learning in their practical life. Then wash the table, peel a carrot, peel and cut a banana, cut an apple, set a table. And also you can make the kids to practice the fold napkins with napkin rings. So pour grain, beans, rice, all these are all very simple, and also they will be very happy to learn something new in their regular life. So what we are doing is different from what they are doing, right? So we are doing it as a work, as they are doing it as a learning process. Next one is your spoon grain, beans, rice, salt, everything. So slicing of eggs, old fashioned egg beater or whisk. So a packing of their own lunch and snack, whatever the things they need, they have to keep it in an equal portions in their manner. Next one is this shift floor, then sieving of it, stir a mixture, how to stir it, how to stir the water, how to stir a milk, everything. So scoop, spoon, flour, sugar, salt, everything. So next, cutting a piece of bread or bun, what is the procedure to cut it. So if we are giving activities like this in which we are using in our regular life, they'll be very much happy to learn something new. So they also feel independent once they come to know all these. So she or he does not feels dependent on others. So use a real knife, crack nuts. So how to jam a bread or butter a piece of bread. So making of orange juice, all these are simple. Just you're going to squeeze is lemon juice, orange juice and all, you're going to squeeze it. It is also a type of activity. So making orange juice, help with simple cooking, using of rolling pin and cooking cutters, serve liquid with a ladle, pour water into a narrow neck bottle. So these are all very important life skill activities in kitchen. Next is care for their clothes. So when coming to this, these are the normal things which we have to know. That is the clip clothespin, roll a pair of socks, that is match, keep taking a matching socks, making into a roll of a pair. So youth of cloths pick, hangs up and puts clothes away, then washing their simple small own clothes, hang jacket on low hook, so fold a t-shirt. So these folding t-shirt, folding pants and all comes around the age of 3.5 and 4 years. So they will be very useful for their kids to do their own work. So next it coming to the care for the environment, use of a dustpan and brush, sweep with a broom. So these can make them to clean their own place and make their environment clean by themselves. So wipe up a spill, dusting, all this polishing of wood, metal, leather. Next is a plant a seed. So they can also learn something new, in which planting a seed daily he'll be pouring the water, they'll be thinking of the process of growing the plant. Next is all those small gardening works in their home, cleaning a window or mirror, so clean a house plant, so flower arranging, how to arrange a flower in a vase, so everything. So put materials away on the shelf, arranging books or notes on the shelf. So these all comes on the care for the environment. Next is coming to the care of animals. It comes to a feeding a pet, wash a pet, so gentleness for the pet, keep a clean environment for the pet. So these makes them and also their environment clean. Next is coming to the good manners, daily greeting. They have been learning about their daily greeting. So draw a person's attention, saying thank you, fee, please, sorry, everything. And also they learn the table manners, how to fold a towel, how to place a spoon. These are certain procedures in which it comes under the manners. So how to answer the telephone, so how to blow the nose, cough and sneeze, all these and all manners. So these are the main and most important practical activities in which the child will be learning in the category of gross motor skills. So when coming to fine motor skills, already I have told you, fine motor is nothing but the movement of your small muscles, in which you have to give small movements of your fingers, eyes and hands coordination, toes. So these helps in enhancing their intelligence also. It helps in the development of intelligence also. So mainly your fine motor skill activities interfere with usage of your fingers. So all those fingers. Next is tweezers, tongs. So these you will be using while doing your finger fine motor skills. So eyedroppers, magnets. So these will be used in the fine motor skills. Next is the magnets, toothpicks in which to pick a fruit, transferring, or toothpicks can be used for several activities. So at that age they can use the toothpicks to pick the fruit and eat. So transferring it into correspondent holes, stacking of coins. So these activities comes under the age of 4. So grate soap, everything. So these comes under fine motor skills. In coming to art, fine motor skills mainly is for the small movements in the muscles, that is a wash of an easel, clean a vinyl apron, so sharpening their own pencil, color salt, usage of activities in using color salts, then drawing by their own, sponge painting, many sensory activities also comes under the fine motor skill. So it also enhances the finger pincer grip of the child, in which it helps for them for a proper finger grip to write and draw, and also for rubbings, stickers, stamping, modeling with clay, unwinding and winding yarn, how to wind it, so tearing the tissue paper, the tear it and stick it. So you can also make an activity of tearing and sticking, so cutting with scissors, gluing, and also you can use mixed colors for certain activities. Next is sewing. So threading napkin holders onto a scarf, how to make it. So and threading large beads onto a straw, bead stringing, you can give that bead stringing. Also the sort buttons, how we have to sort according to the color and also according to the size. Sequencing, so weave a ribbon, how to weave it, then lacing, braiding, simple use of thread and needle. See a new button, sew a button into a cloth, so these comes under sewing. Next is the introduction of grace and courtesy. So, in which this enhances the development and movement, in which it takes care of a person. That is, I already told you that self care, which it gives a complete independence. So, care of an environment. So these are all the basic things in which it comes under fine motor skills. So in which the Montessori also introduced exercises in also grace and courtesy in the reaction to the young child's need for order. So the child has the need to know and to observe the social structures in order to be more at ease in his environment. So this grace and courtesy lesson gives the child the vocabulary, actions, the steps required for him, how to build his awareness and responsiveness of those around him. So in this in turn gives the child a better sense of orientation in social structure. So the child makes a rapid progress towards a complete independence in self-care. So they need to be independent in dressing, eating, washing himself, and also many other activities. So in which this makes the child feel that he or she is equal to all those around them. So in certain activities there the child will work together. So each child learns to cooperate with his or her classmates. So they learn to be kind, they learn to use kind words, considerate, and also caring, in which this makes them to develop all these. So independence in dressing, coordination of movements. So each frame has to be shown with essential movements. So everything they learn is different from one another. So one child must be given a chance to keep his home or garden, classroom, everything, making them to clean by themselves. There is a care of them and also the environment. So they like certain things, they like to do such work as they feel important and wanted. So these are the many activities in which it has been taken from our daily life. So water play, sand play, doll's house, a dressing corner, etc. So these are also the activities which the kids make an interest to do it. So conversation developed with them also as a concept to teach the children during these activities. So these activities are also helpful for the preparation of the material and also the easy use. So the control error to help towards easy, and the main aim is independent use. So these are the importance of fine and gross motor of the skill, in which the exercises which we regularly follow in our practical life plays an important role for the kid in their development. So by the next session, we'll be seeing some of the practical activities based on Montessori method. So thank you so much.